Okay. Good morning. I'm glad to be here with you. It's nice to see you all around me, and you are here, of course, to have a look at this project. It may look big, but we can sum it up as possession style and counter pressing. Okay. Many coaches tell me during the last years that they are afraid to use a possession style of play because they are afraid of opening up and conceding goals. But my answer to them is that if you have good organization, when you play possession style, you won't have a problem at all. You're going to be able to win the ball back immediately and attack again. Why we use this Barcelona as our case study? Because I believe it is still the best team of the recent years. What is it, negative transition? It is the phase which starts as soon as the attacking team loses possession, and it lasts for about 6 and 8 seconds. It's not quite precise, but it's like something like this. And of course, the key for successful negative transition is the good organization. Let's have a look at some examples of how negative transition is applied by Barcelona. So the good organization of them enables them to win the ball high up the field very, very quickly. Lower in the field, in the middle zone, above them the middle zone by Busquets over here. They are able, of course, to win the ball near the sidelines. After double marking. And in our last example, they win the ball low in the field with the central defender and the midfielder. Of course, they are able to win the ball in every part of the field because they are always very good organized. A key, in my opinion, is the mentality of the players. A quote I usually use with my players is that I don't mind if they lose possession. I don't mind if they make a bad pass, as soon as they are the first to react after losing possession. And if you have players with the right mentality, then it is easier to use this style of play. In this example is a Chilean team. It is Vidal. He loses possession, but he is the first one to react immediately. Wins the ball, he gets a foul. Now it is Alexis Sanchez. Marcelo wins the ball, but he reacts, continues his effort, he wins the ball back. Finally, Dani Alves loses possession, but he still continues his effort. He manages to win the ball, he makes an assist, and he doesn't stop. He wins a corner kick after this. Now you can imagine why Guardiola signed both Vidal in Bayern, signed both Sanchez in Barcelona, and of course he wants to sign Dani Alves again in Manchester City. I don't know if he has already done it, but you can understand why. What are the types of the negative transition? A classification according to the aim would be if a team has an aim to quick regain the possession, to use counter pressing, and some teams prefer to drop back, get well organized behind the ball, but this is not precise. This is not, because if you use counter pressing, you can't use it all the time. There are times that you should drop back and have good organization instead of moving to win the ball. It's not always the right time to use it. Let's move on. Let's go how quick regaining of position can be regained at the back. We should have good organization, which means appropriate positioning when we have possession. This is the must. It's all about positioning, in my opinion. If we have appropriate position, we have numbers up at the back and appropriate distance from the forwards. You're going to see what I mean. And if we have this, we have appropriate reactions as soon as we lose possession. If we play against two forwards, against the 4-4-2 for example, because if we play against one forward, if we have two central defenders at the back, we don't have to take any further actions. But if we play against two forwards, as it is there, we have to take an action. We have to create numbers up at the back. Why we should do this? Because it helps us build up easily. We have an extra player in advantage, so we can use it in order to move the ball forward. We create a V shape at the back with the fullback of the weak side dropping back in this option. We can also use the defensive midfielder who drops back in a very low position, and we again create a V shape at the back. You can see both fullbacks move in advanced positions and wide positions, and in this case we need this player to be a link player between the lines. It is very important to have a player in this position in order to move the ball forward more easily. A third option we can use is to drop the defensive midfielder in a middle position between the two forwards. We can have again one spare player at the back. We have the fullbacks in wide and advanced position, and number 10 is acts as a link player between the lines. Let's see all the options. In the next video, how Barcelona used them in order to build up. The first example, we have the weak side fullback who is in deep position. We have 3 against 2 at the back. We have a V shape. And again, in a similar example, how they retain a spare man at the back. In this example, it is the defensive midfielder who is in a low position. It's Busquets on the ball right now. We have a 3 against 2. We have a link player between the lines, the fullbacks in wide positions, and a link player between the lines, who is Xavi at the moment. And a similar example after this. Again, they build up on the right. The defensive midfielder stays deep. We have a link player as well. And the fullbacks are in wide positions and advanced positions because we have safety at the back. Finally, the 3 against 2 is retained by the defensive midfielder in the middle position between the two opposing forwards. Here is Busquets creating a triangle at the back. Wide positions and advanced positions by our fullbacks. and they are able to win possession as soon as they lose it. And finally, in this example, a triangle shape at the back, Busquets between the two forwards, numerical superiority, and the ball can be won. So, as you can see, it is not only a matter of building up effectively at the back if we have a spare man, but we can also win possession more easily and we have more safety. But we can have flexibility as well. All these three options I have shown you can be used in the same attack, for example. If the players have good collaboration between each other, they can switch from one option to the other, as Barcelona does. So, the point is not only to teach our players to create these numbers up at the back, but also have the flexibility to switch from one to another. So they start building up with the fullback in a deep position, but as soon as the ball is in advanced position, both fullbacks move forward, but the defensive midfielder stays at the back. This is good collaboration between the players, so they're good at the back, they have safety, and they can win possession. The 3 against 2 is retained. We are able to win possession. Another element is, except for retaining numbers up at the back, is retaining the appropriate distance between the central defender who is close to the ball and the opponent forward who is a potential receiver of the ball if the ball is lost. So if the ball is moved in advanced position, as you see right there, on number 3 is in possession, we have to have this distance, the appropriate distance from the opponent forwards. Why we should have this? Because if we lose possession, we are able to mark tightly number 9, number 5 in this occasion, and not only mark him tightly, but mark him in anticipation. Before even the ball reaches number 9, we can intercept it and continue our attacking attempt, our attacking effort. But this may vary because it depends on the quality of the players. Imagine that you have Cahill from Chelsea, for example. He's not very good with the ball. So this distance may be longer because he's not good in receiving. So he may make a bad first touch, so he loses possession. So maybe this distance is bigger. But if you have Thiago Silva, who's very good with the ball, he can receive and pass, this distance can be shorter, okay? So if you have quality players at the back, you can keep this distance short and you can win possession easier if you lose it. Imagine that this player was in a very low position over there and the ball was lost. The opponent could have the opportunity to receive, turn, and play with his face on the opponent, against the opponent goal. Okay. And in this occasion, we have a triangle shape at the back. Number 6 and number 3 retain the appropriate distance from the number 9, who is a potential receiver if number 10 loses possession. Let's see how they do it and why it is important in winning possession immediately. Now they are building up. You can see Piqué and Busquets retaining the appropriate distance, especially from the forward who is closer to the ball, and this distance enables them to move quickly close to him. And if the pass was going to Aguero, I believe, the defensive midfielder could have won it. In this case, it is passed behind him, but they are able again to win possession because they have the safety at the back. Again, in a triangle shape at the back, Busquets retains the appropriate distance. Possession is lost, but he's able to mark tightly, force him in a bad first touch, and win possession afterwards. In these examples, we cannot see the defenders, the central defenders of Barcelona, but you can understand that as soon as possession is lost, they're able even to put immediate pressure and win possession. He marks tightly the player, forces in a bad first touch and wins possession. And in these two final examples, you can see the marking and anticipation, how it's carried out. So after the long ball, he's able to move in front of the player, win the ball before it even reaches the forward. And this is a similar example again. So these tactics give us the opportunity to attack again and again and again. If we have more attacks than the opposition have, now then we have more opportunities to score a goal.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. New soccer videos every Tuesday and Thursday.